Welcome to Projects Invest, this is Al here. Today we're going to be talking about Ethereum and its native cryptocurrency Ether, also known as ETH, which is currently the second largest cryptocurrency in the world by market cap. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell notification. Your help is much appreciated. So this is our schedule for today. We're going to go through the history of Ethereum, what is Ethereum, the pros and cons of Ethereum, and what is the bull case for Ethereum. I hope this video will give you a good idea on the basics of Ethereum and whether it can be a sustainable investment for you. So Ethereum was officially co-founded in 2013, and actually it's got a huge list of founding members. Now, because of time constraint, we can't go through each and every one of these co-founders, so we'll only focus on a few of them. Now, I think it's important to know a bit about them, as I believe it's a good indicator to predict if this is a good project or not. First and most importantly is Vitalik Buterin. He's the main co-founder of Ethereum and the man running the show as of today. A bit of background on him: he's a Russian-born Canadian, went to the University of Waterloo, which is a really famous mathematics and computer engineering school in Canada. But as with all geniuses, he dropped out and never graduated. On this list of co-founders, I want to particularly mention Charles Hoskinson and Gavin Wood. So they both co-founded Ethereum alongside Vitalik Buterin, but eventually left as they had discrepancies with each other on the future of Ethereum. Gavin Wood went on and founded Polkadot, which is the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market cap today, and Charles Hoskinson went on and co-founded Cardano, which is currently the fifth largest cryptocurrency by market cap today. The message I want to bring out is these original co-founders of Ethereum are no joke. So let's get to the real juice of this video. What on earth is Ethereum? By definition in Investopedia, Ethereum is an open source, blockchain-based, decentralized software platform used for its own cryptocurrency Ether, also known as ETH. It enables smart contracts and decentralized applications, dApps, to be built and run on without any downtime, fraud, control, or interference from a third party. So for those of you who aren't too familiar with the crypto world, some of these terms might be a bit overwhelming. I mean, it kind of just sounds like a computer software, right? So what's so special about it? You see, our world has been running, in the majority of the cases, a centralized system since basically forever. In a centralized approach, there would be a middleman involved. The purpose of middlemen is to ensure effectiveness, efficiency, transparency, and security within the system. In a real-life scenario, our stock market is a good example of a centralized system, where the exchanges, the clearinghouses, and the brokers, they sit in the middle between buyers and sellers. These middlemen supposedly exist to facilitate this ecosystem and makes everything easy and safe for the buyers and sellers. Think about it. When you're buying a stock, you're supposedly buying it from somebody who wants to sell the stock at a certain price. With these middlemen involved, you don't have to think about anything, not how they find sellers, not how the stocks are exchanged, how the stocks are stored. Everything goes behind the scenes and you don't have to worry any of it. And you trust these middlemen because they're supposed to be trustworthy people.
Believe me.
How convenient, right? Now, here's the problem. What if centralized systems aren't able to deliver on its purpose and people lose confidence in it? There's actually a real-life case of this happening in early 2021, where stockbrokers restricted retail traders from buying a stock. The exact reason on why this happened was never truly transparent, although there were speculations challenging the integrity of the middlemen involved. An event like this further supports for a potential decentralized financial system, and ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what the Ethereum network is able to provide.
Ta-da!
With the Ethereum platform, the middleman function is essentially replaced and automated by technology, specifically blockchain technology and smart contract capability. Now, I won't go too technical, as this video is supposed to be just an overview. So for those of you who don't know what blockchain technology is, you can easily search on Google and have a quick understanding of it. I'll go through in simple terms what a smart contract is. So a smart contract is a contract between two or more parties that automatically executes by code when the agreed conditions are met, hence the word smart. The Ethereum platform also allows anybody to build dApps, also known as decentralized applications, on top of the platform and utilizing its blockchain and smart contract tools. Using the stock market as an example, it is very likely that in the near future, we can trade stocks in the Ethereum ecosystem where there's no middleman. buyers can directly transact safely, efficiently, and effectively with sellers. This concept is a subset of what is known as DeFi, decentralized finance. If you still can't wrap your head around the Ethereum platform, think about the game SimCity. The goal of the game is to build a full functioning economy from an empty piece of land, and it simulates the real world where there are boundaries and rules. The city that you build will be powered by its virtual currency of the game. To put it in the same context, the same SimCity game is essentially the Ethereum network. The dApps on the Ethereum network are the virtual cities on the SimCity game, and ETH would be the virtual currency. Now, I wouldn't say that is an exact perfect analogy, but it's close enough to get an overall concept. Alright, now that we have the concept of what Ethereum is, what are the pros and cons of it, especially against its competition? There are a handful of other platforms out there that offers a similar dApps ecosystem that Ethereum offers. These include, as mentioned earlier, Polkadot, Cardano, Tron, EOS, and probably a few more I left out. For Ethereum, literally its biggest pro is having first movers advantage, as it is the first ever platform to provide dApps creation with smart contract capability. Basically, the majority of the current dApps are built on the Ethereum platform. To put into perspective, you can think of them as the Microsoft of computers, but all the way back in 1995. This gives them by far the most experience and the largest development community. Now, even though Ethereum is way ahead of the game at this point in time, it does have its weaknesses. I think part of it has to do with the fact that they were the first ones in this technology. There are many aspects of Ethereum that wasn't thought out properly prior to execution. One example of this is Ethereum's transaction fees, which they call gas fees. At times can get really expensive because of congestion on the network. In order to solve this, they're going through an upgrade to Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to increase the efficiency, scalability, and security of the network. To do this, they're moving from a proof of work consensus model to a proof of stake. Okay, I know, too many terms, but for the sake of simplicity, we won't go too detailed into this. Let's just say proof of work is a bit too old school, and really it won't work well with what Ethereum is trying to achieve. So changing from proof of work to proof of stake and upgrading to Ethereum 2.0 is a big deal because it's essentially working backwards and changing a lot of the network's infrastructure. Think about it this way. Imagine you're an architect and you've started building the frame of a skyscraper. You've used metal screws to secure this frame, but realized it's not strong enough to hold a lot of people. And now you need to unscrew the metal screws and install even stronger screws. This is sort of what Ethereum is going through all the time, and we don't know what can really go wrong during these transformations. And just for your reference, Ethereum 2.0 will take at least a few years before completion. So is ETH a good investment? Let's put ETH aside for a second and talk a little bit more about dApps in general. I think the concept of dApps would change a lot of industries in the next 10 to 20 years, especially the finance industry. And we have barely even scratched the surface of decentralized finance. That's why we're seeing so many of these dApps creation platforms, such as Ethereum, Cardano, and Polkadot coming up. First movers advantage is huge in this industry because the barrier to entry for this type of business is pretty high. You really gotta be a genius in the software engineering space to pull this off. Think about it. You gotta find the geek within a bunch of geeks. And having said that, Ethereum has the most dApps on its platforms by a long shot. Even if first movers advantage is the only advantage that Ethereum has, I would still buy into it right now. To put things into perspective again, the current market cap of all stocks in the world equate to about 100 trillion US dollars. And this doesn't include the derivatives market, meaning your options, futures, and other leverage products. The market cap of ETH is sitting at around 200 billion US dollars only at the time of this video. If DeFi becomes mainstream, it's more likely than not the Ethereum network can capture at least 1% of the 100 trillion US dollar market. And that would mean a $1 trillion market cap for ETH. And we're only taking into account the traditional stock market, which is still a very small piece of the pie in the grand scheme of things. There are many other industries in and outside of finance that can utilize the Ethereum ecosystem. If you look at it this way, a 1 trillion market cap would mean a 6,000 US dollar price tag per ETH. It's really nothing, and who knows how crazy it can get. Now, back to ETH. I have about 44-ish ETHs right now. I first bought in 2017. at around 800 US dollars, and dollar cost averaged all the way down during the crypto winters. And I'm sitting on an average price of around 350 US dollars per ETH right now. So I've quite a comfortable cushion. I'll probably be adding in small quantities during 15 to 20% pullbacks just because I have a decent quantity already. But for those of you who don't have any or have minimal quantity, I think ETH has a ton of potential just because I believe we're still in the infancy stage of the dApps industry. And the Ethereum platform is simply too ahead of the game to ignore. I hope this video was able to help you out. If it did, please help us like the video so that other people can see it. If you have any questions regarding to the video, please feel free to leave a comment below, and see you in the next one.